Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be game 2 between Orange Esports and Neolution.MRR, and I'm just really glad the Lark is back.
What's up, guys? I am back from the dead indeed. But yeah, so glad to finally be here. I was actually watching the game number one over there, and I was surprised that Orange Esports was getting really stomped hard. Do you know what happened in that game? Like, I didn't get to
Yeah,
see the whole
okay.
thing, so
To sum it up, Orange Esports can no longer play jungle role right now because most teams, when they face Orange Esports, they increase their aggression by a lot more. MR just ganked, and Kiddo double misplay earlier on. Two cannonball misses, big misses. The fat Polar just cannot jump well,
oh
and
god.
in general, that just killed the game for Orange Esports. After that, mid snowball, Witch Layer gang WTF. Doctor didn't have farm. Doctor forced to go Shaman Hadris. Sorry, not Shaman Hadris. Shrunkadet, and doesn't have Light Brand, doesn't have Icon of Goddess, don't have the space to gank, and GG well played.
Yeah,
And
I can see.
Pestilence early
Yeah.
portal key, so is the hack. So basically, that's the case.
Wow. Okay. Then that's insane, man. Yeah. I mean, if what you said is true, then yeah, definitely can see why they would lose that game. But yeah, because I was looking at their lineup, they had a pretty decent one, but MRR's lineup was pretty strong as well, and they ran the which Leo was that support, wasn't he, or was he the carry? I mean, the
Which
off lane
Slayer was the secondary support,
secondary
supporting the
support.
carry. That's it. Yep.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he played that well, I guess. I think a lot of teams have really picked up on that. You know, which Slayer is that kind of go-to support in that kind of sense. So, awesome to see that stuff happen, and really excited for the second game.
Yeah, definitely. Really excited to see how Orange Esports is gonna have to fare up against MR. MR, man, the aggression is just really good right now. That being said, we have a best of 5 series, so that was just game 1. Game 2 now well underway, and I'm gonna show you guys the bans. There we go. We have the Revenor, Tempest, Seraph, Pestilence being banned out, and that's a pretty standard kind of a ban. Orange Esports now rotating to the secondary pick here. They will be able to just ban out the Tempest because they know they cannot snatch that as well. And they have also banned out the Pestilence because that was just insane in the previous game. And MR, man, don't want to give them that hero. That said, they still haven't addressed the War Beast. And War Beast is a hero that MR played successfully 3 times in a row already. Twice yesterday against the Masters, once just now against Orange Esports.
Yeah, it seems like they're finding a lot of synergy with that War Beast. They know the power of the War Beast. I mean, like that's like one of the heroes that's constantly banned out, especially in the international HoN scene. We see a lot of that being ran by like teams like TMSR, where Kizu runs that offlane War Beast, and War Beast just so strong and helps every other lane win. Like lanes that aren't supposed to win it because of that added extra auto attack damage from the Battle Cry. It's just such a good spell. So I really like the fact that they actually go for a first pick War Beast. There is Keeper of the Forest in the pool, but I guess both teams don't really want to run that strategy. Like you mentioned earlier, much more better to have the early aggression. But anyways, it does seem that Ophelia is going to be that jungle role there for this Hellburn team. And we all know that Shui has a really good Ophelia. Is it going to be the saving grace for this game? Only time can tell.
Yo, Ophelia on Shui is really awesome. The micro there is really great. But again, Orange Esports opting to go for the jungle role and instead of a secondary support. That is going to be a little bit worrisome. In the first game, they got shut down really hard because of the lack of a secondary support. You don't have extra support down south. Couldn't box the Wretched Hack. Wretched Hack was just also bottom lane against Dr. Repulsor. So both of them had a pretty good start and it's somewhat tight and draw there. You don't have a secondary support to box the fella out and keep Wretched Hack in check. If not, Wretched Hack would not have a quick back blast, would not have hit level 6 very soon, and secondary support will also mean a little bit extra ganky in the mid lane and top lane as well, where Warbeast was, and Warbeast up against Bubbles. Warbeast definitely is going to have a really good time at the short lane, and Bubbles just got boxed out instead. So, secondary support just makes such a huge impact in this game, but they want to go for Ophelia. That is a pretty good hero in general. With good minions, you can look for quick pushes as well. But I'm just keen to see how that Ophelia really is going to make a change in this game.
Yeah, I mean, most of the fact that it's paired up with a Master of Arms, so it's very defensive in that sense. So heroes like Bubbles, who's naturally very squishy at the start of the game, won't get bursted, like insta-killed so quickly. And if I am not mistaken, if they really are going to go with this right-click Dampier, I mean, I always see goddamn MR always right-clicking Dampier and then never picking it. It's like, what the hell? But if they do pick that up, then that just means it makes it a lot harder for him to gank around, even when he has a Room of Power, because there's so much defensive capabilities coming out from the entire Hellburn team. You already have the Affiliate Heal, the Affiliate's Touch, as well as the Defensive Master's Call. So, there's that to take into account. But of course, they can always by all means not go to Imperial and something else that does damage over time and just still be able to kill the enemy team. I think the name of the game, oh my god, sorry, is the fact that whether or not Hellburn team, if they can utilize their spells really properly and have the execution down really well, then they most probably can win this game. But they're facing against a War Beast who they have to shut down. It's really hard because they don't have the burst potential now. There's the engineer as well, who's annoying when he places the energy field. Rally, of course, is another factor over there. There's a lot of things that they have to be wary about, and a lot of heroes they have to burst on. They don't really have the burst potential now.
Yes, and as you can see for sure, MR since yesterday has been running a dual carry role, and that is a very successful kind of a route that MR has been running. It is really insanely good. The moment you are able to shut down one, you can shut down both. And I think that now they have only a jungle hero on Orange Esports side. It's gonna provide a little bit extra question here, but they have a nice Magmus, and Magmus with Bubbles and Amway should be looking to have a little bit of extra ganky effort there. You have 3 Pure there with good lockdown, double stunners there, and Bubbles with the kelp field. So in general, it is going to be a little bit effective, yes, but they need one more carry, and that's the thing that's missing. And the carry needs to take on both Warbeast and Corrupted Disciple at the late game.
Yeah, I mean, Warbeast Corrupted Disciple, if you don't have anything to trust that, you're practically screwed in that kind of sense. I do foresee that Legion team. Oh, okay, yep, they're gonna go again with the Witch Slayer over there. So secondary support Witch Slayer it seems, and that just means extra gank potential. You have so much burst on Legion team. Holy shit, it's just amazing. Like you have Rally, Seismic Slam, you have the Silver Bullet for Witch Slayer. Corrupted Disciple it's not really burst, but it is a quick amount of damage within a short time frame because of that overcharge or overload, sorry, and
Supercharge.
Supercharge? It's called Overload though.
Oh, you mean the which skills?
The LT.
Oh yeah, it becomes Supercharge. After
yeah, when you get Staff of the Master, yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of insane. It's like I think that's like the only spell that changes the game once you have like the Staff of the Master. It's yeah, whatever. But I think that and as well as the added DPS coming from Battle Cry, there's so much sustainable DPS on Legion side that they can practically take out a lot of the heroes from the Hellburn team if they don't get bursted down at the very start of the game, like from a Magmus initiation or something like that. Like a kelp field into a Magmus initiation is probably the best thing that they can hope for them. They're actually going to go for Deadwood, and Deadwood is a hero that has completely died from the scene for a really, really long time.
Wow.
I don't know if this is going to be the best. It is very good against Warbeast and a Rally, don't get me wrong, but the sustainable DPS that's coming from Hellburn team, it's slightly lacking, and that's what scares me.
This is not the kind of lineup I want to see from Orange Esports. This is like them ready to throw game kind of them, It's not the dual carry strat, it's not the dual support, dual carry strat, it's not the ganky strat. It's yeah, you can say that this is a very early game, very ganky kind of a game. But generally, you want to see a different kind of a Orange Esports. You want to see Orange Esports with the winning recipe, which today they're just not showing it. They're like, you know what, we're gonna save our strategy back to the finals, and since we're already there, and it doesn't really harm us to lose this game to MR, since poor MR has not won a single cycle before. They are like, we're gonna be merciful against MR. You don't want to have that for a final, man. You still want to win and crown yourself double champions. But that being said, we still have a game to cast, and yep, it is going to be a pretty interesting game. Orange Esports with a lot of gang there, and if they do pull this off, this game will not see past 35 minutes. So that's it. Going to introduce the players as well as team here. On Legion team, it's going to be Neolution.MRR from Thailand, and Colorax there going to be the drafter. He's also going to be playing as the smoky guy from Scotland, and that's gonna be okay, I'm just kidding, the engineer Rosie. We also got Bomber Paul playing as the Witch Slayer, looking to slay some witches today. We also got Chidwanex playing onto the rally, and that's Joanne there, just raring and waiting raw like Katy Perry. We got DQ as well, DQ onto the Corrupted Disciple. Let's be honest, 07TV1 playing as the War Beast. And on the Hellbound team, we have Orange Esports from Malaysia there, and Mr. Ghost Top Troll is, in fact, going to be the Master of Arms. And we also got Kato playing onto the Bubbles with Annihilation, ladies and gentlemen. We might actually see that again today. And we also have WTF playing as a really unorthodox carry. It's gonna be D Deadwood, and I hope he still can carry this game. I mean, it's a pretty good he's a pretty good farmer, but Deadwood is a ganker, so it's a different kind of a role that he needs to play right now. That's it. And killing a lot of Cipher, better known as Cipher right now, is going to be the Magmas with an Iron Hammer, but no money for alternate avatar again. That's it. Ophelia has an ultimate avatar, so I'm really happy for her, and that's Shui there playing as the Ophelia.
Yeah, I mean, what's with the deal with not having avatars? Hello? It's like basic necessity for pro players. Hello? Like which player doesn't have avatar? What is that? But yeah,
Also
Bubbles.
don't have avatar. If he annihilates with this, it's gonna look so ugly anyway. But still,
Wait, isn't that Ninja Bubbles? That's still avatar.
that's what?
It's Ninja Bubbles. if I'm not
Ninja.
mistaken.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, he passed.
Yeah, he passes. What is this? I do believe that this game is gonna come down to it's like most other games. It's usually gonna boil down to the middle lane. Like if Kiddo is able to get that early start, he can be very aggressive in his plays because we all know Kiddo is very aggressive in setting up ganks and trying to pick off kills all across the map whenever he gets that level 6 or as soon as he gets like enough farm that he is able to just rotate around the map. Then he does that. I would like to see Kiddo being very, very aggressive in this game. It's going to boil down to a lot of the execution middle lane, whether or not he's going to be able to pick up the farm against the 2 heroes coming out from this Legion side, which is probably going to be the Witch Slayer and that rally, if I'm not mistaken. How exactly did they lane their Witch Slayer? Because I didn't really get to see the start of the first game over there. Since you're saying that Witch Slayer is that secondary support.
Yeah, Witch Slayer was laning secondary support. Was actually in the first game he actually went to the short lane to support the War Beast, and mid lane was Engineer Pasty. But in this game, I think that we may actually see War Beast down south again, and Witch Slayer should be headed in the direction. But there's a Corrupted Disciple. So I mean, Legion team, the lineup is just a little too greedy in this kind of situation. You have Corrupted Disciple, but they're not gonna lane him in the suicide because normally if you see orange.esports, you would definitely know that the Corrupted Disciple is taking one long lane, and you have another carry taking a short lane. But in this kind of case, they are keeping the Corrupted Disciple safe in the mid lane with a Witch Slayer. That's going to be very deadly. And Warbeast, I think that he has substantial amount of success in the previous game against Orange Esports that they are kind of confident to let him lane against Cypher alone.
Yeah, because I was just thinking that this would most probably be the most prime kind of laning that they can do, because they're shutting down the carry, that's WTF, the top lane. At the same time, they're shutting down mid lane, which is that aggressive Bubbles. You see, these are two heroes that are very, very good in terms of ganking together. So I really like the way that MR is kind of playing this, and at the same time, they're giving a lot of farm to their Kurt the Disciple actually misses a CS there. Hello.
Yeah.
But and bottom lane, like War Beast should have no issues at all against Magnus. Like it's such a it's an easy lane for him to win. No issues there, although he didn't get any stack
Look at
regen.
Ophelia damage. Ophelia burst is just crazy, and Witch Slayer Bomb Rusher ball goes down. Look at Shui, man, the best jungle player and the whole of Southeast Asia just coming out level 2 with Vagabond leader. Who could have seen this, man? And it came from behind, man. It came from behind the tier 1. It didn't come from the Legion side. It's just a real size up level 1 gank. It's insane.
Wow, that's great. That's really good place there coming out from him, and that means that he's now level 2. We're gonna be able to pick up his own creep, but very well placed ward there by Bombershable. He knows that he doesn't want to be giving him that ability to gank again against this Corrupted Disciple. So I mean, that's definitely what they need to have happen in this game to get more traction, and now they should be pretty much a-okay for the time being. But they still need to make sure that they get more aggressive ganks on, because if they don't, they will eventually lose their lanes.
Yeah, eventually, but that's it. Show you, man, not the best of luck here. Actually, with 2 wall hunters at the top part and only with commander here. So with commander, yeah, pretty okay, but you want to generally make sure that you have that Minotaur. So she was praying for that, but she doesn't have that. So Mother of NC, man, gonna have to do a little bit extra work there. And actually, we'll have to call off the gang down south because there's no way they could really shut down Warbeast with just a Wolf Commander, a Magmas, and I mean, they can deal substantial amount of stun and effectively lock him down, but with the Minotaur, a lot of extra presence can be felt there. So I think Ophelia gonna rotate around a little bit to just get the Minotaur. There's a Minotaur here, but not so sure if she's actually gonna want to go so deep into the Legion jungle.
Oh, but she's doing a good job right here. The micro to bring the creeps all the way towards the Legion, the Hellburn side, sorry. I mean, he's actually just gonna put it right off to the Wild Hunters there, so I guess that's kind of okay, but Warbeast is here in the vicinity. He is eventually going to pick up on this farm, but Magmas is here, although they both missed that CS. But yeah, I mean, Ophelia's doing a pretty decent job. He's actually farming relatively well because he's using the high ground there with that Minotaur so it doesn't get spotted out. And that's going to be good for him because he's going to be able to probably set up a gank. Oh, Witch Slayer needs to be a little bit careful. But of course there is...
Though.
Oh yeah, because of the Minotaur. Really well played. Top lane though, a lot of harass on Deadwood.
Yep, and Deadwood is, pretty much okay. Level 4, so he is getting substantial level. And the main reasons why, we've seen this before, laning a Deadwood top lane is just make sure that he gets good farm, make sure that he gets a quick level 6. And in this kind of a game, you have WTF farming, so no worries about the farm, but in general, he needs to get a level 6 as soon as he can, just to make sure that the aggression keeps up here. And ORGE.esports, man, this is actually starting to work well for them. Why? Because they are not going for a late game kind of a strat, so there's no point in dual carry. They just want to make sure that they can steamroll early on. And with Ophelia, you look at the lane down stuff already pushed in here, and you have the defense tower all the way down to just about 75% health, even before the 5-minute mark. And that is the kind of situation that you don't want to have from the Legion team, because Warbeast, yes, it does give them a little bit extra space to farm, but you're fighting an early team, and early team doesn't need much items. Needs the portal key, yes, but that's only on Deadwood. And mid lane Bubbles already very, mobile. Don't really need anything else. And in general, now top lane, Deadwood actually looking to be in a little bit of a tight spot right now. We have a Witcher coming from behind, and he gets gagged, man. Deadwood that's gonna hide to the trees, but can he run away? He misses. Side steps away from the stun. Nice rally compel, but is it gonna be enough? The Keg also gonna connect, and now Deadwood is dead. Unfortunate enough, it seems like even though they missed out on the nice Griffith stun, they cannot hit the Deadwood, and Deadwood's still gonna have to die.
Yeah, it was kind of a misplay there with Bomber Triple. Very, very scary in my opinion. But at least they get those kills. They're definitely going to be able to get this defense tower down. Really good rotation, but at the same time, bottom lane, man, gets pushed out really, really hard. And that's because they have that Ophelia. So again, ORGE.esports is just milking on whatever they can right now. And that's really good by them because they know that they can't really take down the head-on fight against this Legion lineup. So they're just going to go for trading of towers. And they, by all means, can definitely take tier 2 as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Legion team is gonna want to have engineering hit level 6 as soon as possible, just to make sure that get a little bit extra defense on going there, and with a nice energy fill, you can get a lot of extra box out from that skill alone. But that's it. Look at the quick push, man. Tier 1 already addressed now. Tier 2 is already down to 50% health, and that's really insane. ORGE.esports is again keeping up the aggression here with a different kind of a lineup. But that's a mid lane Bubbles taking a little bit of beating there. Kiddo, a lot of trouble, but Kiddo has got a Magnus behind, and they should be looking to turn this around quickly. So we need to see that the Corrupt Disciple gets turned on here, and he goes down. Duiku. My oh my.
Well played. Very well played. I'm really good. I'm really surprised at the way that the execution is working out for Hellborn team. They're making use of all the heroes. That's very, very good for them. They are about to destroy the tier 2 at the bottom. So a lot of things is working in the favor in this game, and that shouldn't really happen against MRR's current lineup. So MRR, man, they need to buck up the game, or else they're probably gonna lose the second one.
I think they were a little bit expecting into Hellborn team not playing so aggressively with the Ophelia. They only wildcard in this game, and rather the great plays came from the Ophelia. Ophelia, man, ganked the mid, went down, destroyed the tier 1, now nearly destroying tier 2 as well. Look at that, really just showing us that the jungle can be played aggressively as well. And in general, this kind of situation, yeah, MR wasn't looking at this kind of a gameplay. I think they were just waiting for Magnus, for ORGE.esports to wait for Magnus to hit level 6 first, and by then they would have their own engineer hit level 6 as well. But in this kind of aggressive kind of situation, even Warbeast got boxed out of his lane. Warbeast left his lane to gank top lane, and that's not a good news for Carry. Carry wants to farm, but Warbeast, with just the raid marches, not even level 6, can't even run at 522. This is a crippled Warbeast that we're looking at right now.
Yep, at bottom lane though.
Yep, the tower goes down quickly, nice body, and that's gonna be a rally, and maybe even a compel's gonna be used, but Magnus is just gonna be invisible. Not like it really helps him. He's also gonna die. But it seems like Kiro is gonna go and look for the kill on Warbeast. Warbeast goes down. Kiro's got 3 or 4 men behind him. He sacrifices himself, but at least Ophelia and MOA is going to be fine. That's it. WTF, man. He is still missing in action and looking for more farm up north. He is still with only a raid marches. He needs a little bit more. He needs the portal key. He doesn't have the farm because he's lane against 2 people, remember, and that's not the kind of situation you want for a carry. But that said, he does have about 288 GPM, so that's somewhat fair. And also the fact that he died earlier, not a very good spot for him to be in. But this game so far, 3-3, yes, but you can tell for sure that ORGE.esports is leading by 2 tower and the bottom lane completely addressed. So what's going to happen now is that if ORGE.esports keep up the aggression like they did against Infinity, I think, they will knock on the tier 3 down south. But if they don't keep up the aggression, Warbeast will have free farm.
Yeah, if Warbeast doesn't get addressed at the early start of this game, I mean, like, if they just don't address the base at all, in that kind of sense, then they're definitely going to lose later in this game, because he's going to get a lot of farm. Yes, there's things like, you know, the Magmas to not the Magmas, sorry, the Deadwood to kind of like stop him because of that ulti, which actually synergizes really well against strength heroes. It's still not gonna be enough because you have again on the other tail end a Corrupted Disciple, a Rally, Engineer as well who can withstand team fights around, and of course that beloved Witch Slayer. And you look at Rally, he has his portal key ready. He's gonna look towards setting up more ganks now. So at least in this kind of sense, MR can now start to be a little bit more aggressive as compared to always getting aggressed on as previously by the Hellburn team.
Yeah, for sure. Now MR, man, they want to put forward a little bit of their own dose of medicine here. And Hellborn is actually a little bit, well, they will have to stop their aggression down south. So that, like I mentioned before, is going to mean their war base will have absolutely free farm here. And in general, they're going to translate their aggression to the mid lane. And mid lane is actually a little bit heavily defended right now. And if you look at that, the Ophelia also got a little bit boxed out from the Legion jungle. So that means that she's only going to have to go top lane to get a little bit extra grip there. But look at that seismic slam. Just slamming on the Ophelia. Ophelia, nice stun there by the Leoric Skeleton King. That's gonna save them a little bit, but in general, that's only gonna be not enough for Team Legion to pick up the kill. And Ophelia is gonna be fine, but that's it. It is still not gonna be full health Ophelia, and she should be looking to purchase at least a health potion from the side shop and the observatory. That's gonna help her a lot in terms of coming back and to the mid lane gang here.
Yeah, that was actually really well played by Rally, but I think a little bit of miscommunication there on the part of MR. The follow-up was very slow. Like Witch Slayer took too long to actually jump over there. If he came, I do believe Bubbles and Ophelia would have died, because if they did pick up the kill on Ophelia, he would have reached that level 6, I think, on that Silver Bullet, and would have just instantly used that on the Bubbles over there. So just kind of a misplay on the part of MR, but nevertheless, they at least forced them back a bit. But at the same time, now they're going to have to reset themselves, so slowing down a little bit of the aggression, but still Bubbles is going to continue farming in lane because he had that invisibility rune, so really well played there. And Master Arms needs to be careful because he just runs into Corrupted Disciple.
Yep, and it's gonna be a little bit of a questionable spot right there, but that's 3-3 so far. 2k gold lead for Hellborn team. Hellborn team is in a slight lead so far, but then there we go. MOA, a little bit of trouble there. It's gonna be a Corrupted Disciple with the overcharge used already. Electric Tie gonna pick up the kill, and where's the Willowmaker? Not in time for that. They will grabs also not gonna connect, but that being said, now it seems like they will get turned on here, and they would force to use the Willowmaker, not in the best of spots, but still CD not enough mana for Electric Tie. Seems like it's not even gonna be needed. Double tap for Duikyo looking to be very good. This is why I mentioned before, the WTF, yes, is a great player, but he is only playing in a carry route, and as a Deadwood, he doesn't have the rubrics of a gang, so he doesn't know what's the best moment to go in, what's the best moment to call for ganks. And that being said, I think that he doesn't even have the portal key yet.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's really far away from it. He has to get another like 1.2k gold, and the thing is, that was really well played by Duikyo, man. Like, he dodged the rotten grass. He knew that with his amount of HP that he wasn't going to go down so easily to just that the Deadwood punch. And that's the thing about Deadwood against the Corrupted Disciple. You will 100% get that static discharge in yourself, which he did get onto himself. If you notice, like, he went actually 3 points with the static discharge rather than the Corrupted Conduit. I would have actually just liked to see him go more points than Corrupted Conduit. You don't really need that static discharge, but in a sense it did kind of help him there to pick up the kill against Deadwood, because he got purged and he just couldn't really outrun the Corrupted Disciple, who had Ghost Marches already. So really well played by them. And bottom lane as well, I think they almost picked up a kill on I want to say Magmas, but they unfortunately couldn't get it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the thing there, and also the fact that Stagnate Discharge does give him an increased passive amount of movement speed, which is the main reason why he was able to catch up Deadwood. They was apparently using clear cutting to give himself a little bit of extra movement speed, and with the charges that's 3%, but that's not enough for the 9% coming from Stagnate Discharge, and that's for all you guys there who really love numbers. But in general, we love the game, not numbers. So we're looking at about 5-3 here, and it is a 900 goal lead for Hellborn team. Hellborn team looking to be in a little bit of a tight spot right now. They have the goal lead from knocking off both tier 1 and tier 2 at the bottom lane, but it's slowly eroding away. And look at Warbase, man. Warbase complete free farm right now. Level 6 and Corrupted Disciple. Man, that's just a beast. Level 10. Double digit, and no one on Hellborn team is level 10 yet. And he has very good items already in the Corrupted Disciple's bank. Ghost Marches. You have also the bottle. Looking for a quick, I think, Energizer. If he has that, it's going to mean the rest of his team can also virtually fly. And that's not going to be good for HoNTourSEA at all.
Yeah, not gonna be good at all indeed. I just always prefer going, if you're gonna go Energizers, I just always prefer getting that Steam Boots. The only other time I actually get Ghost Marches on top of Energizers, like if you're playing like TMM and stuff like that. But nevertheless, he's
Oh my
getting a lot
god,
of
there
control.
goes Ophelia. Ophelia not even has the time to put out the LT, but that being said, at least Rally goes down and we have a triple, meaning that good micro from Shui, at least make sure that the kill is still gonna happen on the Rally, because the Rally did overextend a little bit there, but in general, Skeleton King will not be in range for a second stun, so that's not gonna mean anything at all. But that's it. Down south though, we have the Magmas here, holding his fort up against the Corrupted Disciple by himself.
Yeah, and that was just well played by this Legion team. Like I think they lost Shidowan, but at least they pick up the kill into the jungle guy, and well, he won't have the heal ability now, so they can kind of like gank bottom if they want to. But unfortunately, I guess they kind of just backed off of there. So not the best exchange in my opinion. A lot more better for Orange Esports. They get the kills. Unfortunately, Bubbles was also quite slow to reach the top lane, and that's why they couldn't pick up the 2 kills onto the supports they're coming in from this Legion team. But nevertheless, they do pick up some levels from the Legion team at least, so they're getting a lot more beefier in that sense with the spells, and Energizer just completed by Corrupted Disciple already, so looking towards more gankish opportunities with that added extra movement speed whenever he activates that. That's going to be good for them, and they're probably going to go ahead and stack this out and get this triple stack Ancient soon.
Yeah, definitely, sir. That said, we have about 14 minutes up in this game, and 6-4. Slowly can see that Orange Esports, they did knock off the top lane tier 1, which is why they still have a slight amount of gold lead here. But Hellbound team is slowly crawling back into this game. And if you look at 7 TV1, he does have about 800 gold in the bank. I'm keen to see what items he's going to go for first. And I think that in general, he should at least go for Shrunken Head in this game.
Yeah, he definitely needs a Shrunken Head. I mean, there's a lot of other items as well that he needs to get, but I think that's just one of those core things. And I would definitely like to see Barrier Idol come in from this Legion side, because there is substantial amount of magical damage coming from both Bubbles as well as that Magmas. It's just really strong. They need some armor as well coming out from them. I definitely think Rally should pick up on something like a Soul Sport, unless Warbeast wants to pick that up himself. I do believe Rally can actually be the one to pick up the Barrier Idol instead. That would be a lot more better in terms of synergy for their teammates. They are putting a Gushen at this tier 1 mid. They know. Oh, nice deny coming up from DQ. So yeah.
Pretty good stuff happening there from DQ. DQ doing a lot of extra work there. But that being said, that's gonna slow down a little bit extra goal lead for Hellbound team. But Hellbound team still is in the lead here, and Legion team, they only have got a CD to boast about, but that's gonna be about that. You also got Rally with a quick portal key already. In fact, it's amusing to see that Rally has got portal key about the same time as that of Datewood. So Datewood didn't really win the lane at the top lane, and now Datewood now with the portal key looking to gang a little bit more. But it seems like Orange Esports gonna do Kongor instead, and Kongor is gonna be really good for them. They need the extra token, and I think that's gonna help them gang a little bit better. But instead, don't forget that Hellbound team, there is no real carry here. It's gonna die down in 35 minutes if they don't have the game by then.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, Deadwood, he has a decent amount of carry potential if he gets items really quickly, but in this kind of game he didn't snowball like you wanted him to, so he's not gonna be able to really get that. And he only has like a portal key on top of the steam boost now. It's gonna take a while for him to actually get other items, like things like the Soul's Bulwark and all that kind of jazz. Magmas actually needs to be careful. They get Kong at least, and that's mainly because there's no vision there at the Kong pit, so they easily are gonna get that. But at the same time, Legion team is just continuing farming. Warbeast is eventually going to pick up that Abyssal Skull very soon. Corrupted Disciple is going to be getting his Shrunken Head very soon as well. Unless he's going to go for that, what's it called, the Ice Brand, because I remember seeing in his inventory he had a bolstering armband earlier on, so not too sure what happened with that item over there. But look at that, holy shit, Witch Slayer straight up going to go for a portal key, even much more initiation, but he's going to probably die here. Yeah, he does die from Bubbles and the double damage, and I think that he still needs other items. Top lane though.
Yep, top lane, nice double man gang there from the Magmas, but is it going to be enough? That's the question. I think that they're not going to be able to do too much of a thing here, but that goes to Willowmaker as well as Rotten Grabs picks up the kill on CD. CD goes down, CD gets addressed, so is the Warbeast. Warbeast also goes down, and it seems like the Nice Stun also going to pick up the kill there on Codex. It's a triple hat trick there for Kiddo. Kiddo looking for Annihilation so early, but there's only 3 members there. So I think that it's not going to happen quickly, and even if they try and chase down this Rally is a little bit too far. Kiddo needs to play very safe there.
Yep, very much. Yeah, like just like I was saying, I mean, Witch Slayer, he picked up the portal key, that's great, but he needs other build-up items on top of that, because if he ports in, he's not gonna have mana to really, spam out his spells. He is only sitting at level 1 sorry, level 1 miniaturization, so not gonna burn as much mana. That takes up a lot of mana when he reaches the later levels. Sorry. Definitely hope he's gonna get a tablet of command soon. There's other things that the team needs. I would like to see mechanism. Sorry. Astrolabe being picked up by at least the the Witch Slayer or even the engineer to at least help their teammates in team fights. Definitely they need that quick barrier idol because they're losing a lot now in team fights due to the magical burst damage coming out from Hellburn team. So hopefully Rally does pick that up soon.
Yep, hopefully so. That's a 6-8 so far. 5k gold lead already underway. And in general, you have a pretty interesting spot right now for Legion team to be in. They are nowhere near the late stage item. Nowhere are they also close to completing anything productive yet. And in general, they just need to make sure that they just defend nicely and wait till the later stage of this game. But they don't have much towers to defend really. It's only 2 tier 2s that are still left standing. And they would already have 2k gold in the bank, so they would is pretty good to go as well. Kiddo with also the token of life up already with a portal key. So most of the Hellborn members are in for a gank. And they are also going to steal Ancient. So MR, they don't have what it takes to take a team fight right now. They know that as well. But do they have the space to farm? That's the question. We have been giving Warbeast free farm down south for about almost 8 minutes thereabouts, but it doesn't have any items, and that's not good at all.
Yeah, Warbeast isn't taking flight. That's the major concern right now. Only 200 gold per minute. That's like very, very low. 18 minutes in the game. Like, what has he been doing the entire game? Just wanking off and stuff like that? Like, he's literally not getting enough farm, and that's mainly because of the quick aggression coming out from Hellburn team. You have the Deadwood portal key, you have the, Bubbles portal key. Bubbles, Kiddo, his most favorite hero, and he does a lot of work on that hero. It's just one of the reasons why you banned that out against ORGE.ESports. Corrupted Disciple still doesn't have any other items besides that the Mighty Blade, so definitely gonna go for that Shrunken Head, I do believe. And bottom lane again now, Warbeast is gonna continue to push. Hopefully he's gonna be able to get this tier 2 because they want to trade right now. They know they can't take the team fight against this ORGE.ESports crew, but here we go. Magnus already is there at the bottom lane, ready to set up for the kill. Gonna charge ultimate though.
Yeah, but it's gonna be Eruption straight in the face of Warbeast. I don't think it's gonna be enough to pick him off though. And here comes the Bubbles. Bubbles with nice kill field secures the kill. But here comes Witchler from behind. Witchler, nice miniaturization, making sure the Bubbles doesn't get a kill. But Witchler, man, gonna be a little bit of a tight spot, and he's gonna flash all the way there with a bottle key and nicely pot away. So both members can be safe though.
Wow, that was huge plays coming out. I have to say that miniaturize made him survive, because if he would have died if Bubbles got in there and was able to use the silence, and really well played by him to survive himself. That's why you always carry a homecoming stone, guys. Learn from the best. Anyways, Corrupted Disciple's gonna continue farming right now. He's hopefully gonna be able to pick up on some Shrunken Head very, very soon, so that he can start running around in team fights and dishing a lot of damage against the Bubbles. Of course, he still has to worry about the Deadwood, because he's probably the only guy that can, stop him and lock him down in that Shrunken Headed form. But of course, Warbeast on the other hand, he needs to farm really, really quickly as well. And I think he's going for an early puzzle box. I think that's actually probably the best item that you can get for now, because he's gonna burn a lot of the mana coming up from Magnus and as well as Deadwood, and stop a lot of the initiation coming out if he uses the creeps and micros them really, really nicely there. So that's gonna be a good item pickup for them.
Yep, that's good, because that's a 8-6, 6k gold lead already here, and still Token has got a pretty sizable amount of time left, 1 minute and 50 seconds, so that's gonna mean that Hellborn team wants to push at the mid lane right here, right now. A nice gang there on the CD, but CD a lot of trouble. Widowmaker is gonna be used as well, and Corrupted Disciple will get addressed. This is the ganking potential on a Hellborn team. In general, they can pick up members one by one, but when it comes to 5 versus 5, they don't have the best of moments there, because they only have got one Magnus Eruption, and whereas Legion team, they've already got the nice energy field that can really box out members there from the Hellborn team. So in general, I would definitely favor this game to drag on a little bit more for MR to win this game, but ORGE.ESports, they have the best of lead right now.
Yeah, as long as ORGE.ESports keeps grouping up, picking off ganks wherever it can, because now is the prime moment for them to do it. It's the mid game. This is where they really shine in. A lot of the members coming from Legion team, they're farming, way across the map, not together as 5, so it forces them into a really bad spot where they can get easily ganked. The ward vision is pretty okay, but of course with portal keys, there's not really much you can do in that kind of sense. Like, if they jump you, you're probably dead. Like, this is, just aggressive plays, like what Complexity would run back in the day, where they would have pebbles on top of Deadwood to have, extra ganky potential. But in this kind of sense, they actually swap out the pebbles for Bubbles, which I think actually still does synergize pretty well, because Bubbles is just such a good hero in terms of like lockdown with that kelp field.
Yep, definitely. So that said, we are looking at the top lane being pushed right now, and it seems like Bubbles has only got 30 seconds left on his token of life. Not sure if MR has got a timer check in that one, but it seems possible, and it is not going to mean too much of a thing, but at least they get the top lane tier 2 addressed. MR on the flip side going to push the mid lane straight up aggression from MR. MR will also get his tower, I think, and here comes the pod. Oh no, he gets totally contested. Eruption going to be channeled quickly. It seems like DQ is going to be fine, but here comes the Shrunken Head. Well, they would just goes in and out. Energy field out of like pure defiance there, and looking to pick up more kills there, but Bubbles goes down, and it seems like it's in time for his token. Wow, that's gonna be really good gameplay, and that's in general. Down goes the CD, and it seems like Witchler gonna get completely locked down right now. He is somewhat silenced, but is already off there, and he looks to just nicely fall away. I think he should be able to run away. That being said, it's gonna be fine. Straight picks up the kill with Colorex. Colorex goes down. That's the engineer, and in general, a 2-for-nothing kind of exchange. They also successfully defend tier 1, I think it was it. Deny? Yep, deny. So Keto there making big plays again, and in general, we have a pretty good time right now for Help on team to push, but the question is that can they get into the tier 2 without token of life?
Yeah, I don't think they can really push into that because you're fighting uphill, especially against a team like Legion side, and that team fight would have gone really well had they if the token just expired before Bubbles was gonna be able to come back to life. I think that Corrupted Disciple should have been a little bit more wary about that. I didn't get to catch. Was it like just a couple more seconds, like 2 seconds or 1 second before I was gonna run out? It was just such a close call, and it just goes to show that Corrupt Disciple is just such a force to be reckoned with, man. He instantly destroyed Bubbles over there when he jumped in onto him. Like, he only has 910 HP. He has 4k in the bank though, and that's probably gonna translate towards a closure sweepstakes soon.
It is, and that said, we are looking at well, Orange Esports nicely backing away instead of a straight up aggression here. I think they are still waiting for Magmas to get a little bit extra item. Magmas already with both Portal Key and they push book. That's a table of command, and you have a lot of extra items there in the whole team as well. Meanwhile, top lane gets ganked upon, and it seems like CD again. Don't want to be in his spot, but not sure what he's doing overextending here without any one of sight mistakes that teams make, really.
Yeah, that was just a huge mistake on his part. Like, you don't have a word of sight. You play so aggressively in terms of your farm out there. It is risky play that sometimes needs to be done, but in the kind of situation with this such slight this really close gap, I don't think you should do that. Bottom lane, they actually miss out on the kill onto Magmas. It's really unfortunate that they didn't get the last hit in onto him, but nevertheless, they do try to set up for a gank at least. Rally is gonna get closer towards getting the barrier idol. That's gonna be such a huge thing for them. But look at that, Bubbles actually just going for straight up Grimoire power, so they know that they need more damage right now.
Yep, they know for sure, and that's it. I think well, Dawood is looking pretty good by himself. He already has got his trunk on it earlier on, and also now with about 1.6k going in the bank. I think that he needs... I have no idea what kind of item he's actually going to go for, because he already has got a portal key, basic stuff, maybe even a Soul's Bulwark. That's going to help him a little bit. But in general, a carry Dawood is something you don't see every day.
Yeah, carry Deadwood is probably not the best carry option in my opinion, but of course this is just more of a lineup that is thriving on the early game to mid game pressure, and it is slightly working in favor. Well, not really slightly, it is really working into their favor. I mean, you look at the gold and experience advantage, it's heavily in their favor there. They have a complete map control right now. Legion team is just boxed out way too much that they can't really get much done. Witchler, I'm not sure what next couple of items he's going for, but at least he does have that what do you call those, the Mystic Specimens. He's not going to be taking as much damage before. Still needs a lot of mana to do shit in this team fights. Corrupt Disciple still doesn't have the Shrunken Head. That's a major issue there coming up from this Legion team, as well as the War Beast. But of course, War Beast, he does have the puzzle blocks. If he's able to use this properly, then they by all means can probably win a team fight. Although Hellbarn is going to go for Kong again, and they're going to get tokened up.
Yeah, and once the token is up, I think it's again going to Bubbles. Bubbles now with the Grimoire of Power. Look at that. So Bubbles, man, has got a lot of extra damage now with Grimoire of Power, and there we go. He's gonna go token again, and that's gonna mean that Hellborn team is in a prime spot. Right now it's gonna be the prime time for push, which is why I say that this game should not last above 35 minutes. If not, it's gonna pose a little bit of threat there against the Hellborn team. Warbeast on the flip side already has got a puzzle box. I think it's only puzzle box 1. There we go, and that means that he's gonna have to nicely level it to 2 and 3 before it will serve to be a really big threat, and that he should accomplish in about 10 minutes as well. Duiki on the flip side needs also a Shrunken Head, but he doesn't have the goal for that. I think he might have a separate component in the Korea. Let me just check it out. Oh, couldn't. Click. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because I already have Shrunken
yeah.
in a career, so that explains his goal. So yep, at least it's gonna have Shrunken up ready, but he doesn't have the damage. Not like it really matters because Corrupted Disciple steals people's damage like a good old thief. And in general, you need to make sure that he survives, which is why he go for Shrunken and wants to pick for a little bit more tanky kind of item. But in 10 minutes, he should also have a second header up again. So if this game doesn't end by then, more or less can say that Legion team is more poised to win that game if it drags on further and further and further. But that being said, HoN team, man, they have a prime time to push right now, but they're still not pushing it. And I'm wondering what kind of item are they waiting for?
Yeah, I think it's just they're a little afraid to push right now. They want to get maybe more items up onto, I don't know, maybe even bubbles or because it seems like it's too extreme to wait for Deadwood to pick up on his demonic breastplate because it's gonna be a really long time before he picks it up. They already have the Barrier Idol component there on Ophelia, so that's great for them. And I think they're finally gonna group up right here. They are going towards the middle lane here, so by all means I think they're ready to start pushing. They know that they are working against the clock.
Ooh.
And middle lane, woo, yeah.
Close compelled saves today. Rally's gonna be fine, and it seems like HoN team is a little too slow in terms of the stun from Magmus, but at least we can only say that Rally has got his fingers pressed already. And that being said, HoN team now is going to try and rotate down south to put a little bit extra gang, but a lot of sight here is going to spot them out by ColorX, and that is pretty good news for them at least. Warbeast, however, is still going to hang on a little bit longer. I don't think it's going to pot instead. He definitely wants to push the top lane, the bottom lane. And once they have clear instructions that HoN team is already in the mid lane, then he's going to try and do his own split push.
Yeah, he's just constantly using the Hellhounds to scout it out. That's really well played by him. But he's actually kind of wasting a lot of time just sitting there idly by over there in the little outpost. He really still needs a shrunken head. That's kind of another major issue, I guess, at this game. Like either going shrunken head or puzzle box. I guess you could say that going shrunken head would probably be the better choice. But of course, you want to have that puzzle box to shut down, Deadwood and Magmus and team fights so that they can't really do much. And then you can keep winning team fights, and eventually from there you'll just milk out on the goal to pick up on some shrunken heads of their own. And you see right now he's gonna port away because he's a little bit afraid of this Deadwood who is making his way to the bottom lane. Legion team, although they themselves are trying to put up a separate push at the top lane, and I don't think this is going to be too much success. Maybe just for a ward run here, because they want to set up for maybe a gank or maybe even a push when they can. And just both teams just trying to push onto the bases right now.
Yeah, for sure, and it's slowly working in favor of MR right now because HoN team, they're not really farming, they're just nicely dancing around a little bit too much, and you have Deadwood already with the Soul's box, so most of the items are already nicely in their favor there. They might actually want to save for buyback, which is one of the main reasons why you see a lot of gold on these players there, but no items in the bank. And it's a pretty good option really in case the push failed, but if the push failed, the game should be done. They should be looking to knock off tier 3s right now. It's a pretty good time and opportunity to do that. But MOA actually is going to take a really long while to walk all the way down there, considering he only has got steam boots. And he may actually be picked off by a Warbeast in the mid lane. He needs to be really careful with that being said. He is just nicely soloing this push here. Warbeast is in the vicinity, thinking as to whether he wants to go in. And I think it does seem like duty calls, and he's gonna actually rotate all the way down to the bottom lane right now.
Yeah, and at the same time, Warbeast is gonna try to get tier 2 mid, but I don't know about this push there because their base tower is pretty much getting fucked right now, and if they don't, try to defend this, they will ultimately screw themselves over. Although the top lane, you're looking Corrupted Disciple, he's trying his best. Oh, here we go.
Nice jumping by the Rally though. Rally gets Willowmaker down. Rally a lot of trouble. Rally goes down on the flip side. Seems like Corrupted Disciple is trying to make something happen. Corrupted Disciple now gonna try and chase down Deadwood, but Deadwood is gonna survive today. And that's gonna be pretty good news for Deadwood at least. Meanwhile, MOA up against the Warbeast, and Warbeast by himself, not able to do too much of a damage. Now gonna rotate top lane to try and push the top tier 3 instead. It is also not gonna be successful. The power of the MOA really is the acid bomb. Very good anti-push potential from the hero.
Yep, and they're gonna get this Rax, no doubt about it. They're even gonna be able to defend. So, Warbeast just walking around at this top lane here.
Oh, the top silver bullet in the face of WTF. WTF going down to the WTF. So close. You better not block me, but he gets blocked in anyway. And he goes down. But Corrupted Disciple gets addressed as well. Now Ankylar goes in to try and pick up the kill there on Engineer. Engineer goes down. It seems like Witch they're also going to die today. And that's only going to be 4 members down. The last one is going to be the Warbeast up north. And they are also going to go back and defend. They already secured a main mission here. Melee breaks down. Range Rangeback is going to get knocked on as well. I think Rangeback is going to get addressed as well. And we have Rally coming a little too slow, but he was dead, so can't really blame him there. And I think Rally has got compelled and portal key, so he jumps in, but gets silenced instantly by Bubbles. Bubbles, quick gameplay, but look at that. Ophelia micromanaging every single creep so well, and it's going to be now Shui manning it up. And it seems like Bubbles still has got a token, which is why he's just so gutsy to go and try to pick up a kill here on Warbis. Warbis is going to be okay. I think Bubbles will pop back next to him. 1 or 2 last hit there with the taunt, takes the kill. Bubbles is going to be fine, and he's also going to need to just nicely shell surf out of that, and it's a really good job being done by Bubbles. It is a complete wipeout, man. MRR, you just can't stand right now.
Yep, they're gonna probably lose this game already. They took too long to decide what the hell they wanted to do. No shrunken head on Warby. So again, look at that. Look at that aggression, man.
Again, there we go. Bubbles manning it up, but he does have token. He picks up Wish Lair, and he has the secondary life. He's gonna come back up again, and now he's gonna try and just knock on the tier 3 safely. He has already lost his spare life, so now he will play pretty safely, I think. But Kiddo, man, look at the entire aggression on Kiddo. 10, 1, and 6 on the Bubbles. This is why game 1 he should have just played goddamn Bubbles.
Yeah, Bubbles, man, did a lot of work. That was the main factor in the game. He started to roam around, and that's what I mentioned earlier on. If Kiddo is able to pick up on the farm, start roaming across the map and picking up kills left, right, and center and all across, then he's most probably going to let the rest of his teammates get that necessary farm they need, be able to push down and eventually win the game. So really well played by Orange Esports over there. They do win that, and funny enough, they have really surprising weird name tags. ADNG. Do you know what that stands for?
ADN Gamers. I think they might actually be looking at a sponsor change. Not too sure about that. No official news yet, but it is a pretty good thing that is happening to them, I think.
Yep.
So that's it, man, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be game 2. Game 3 is going to be up real soon, and I think we'll be back real soon as well. There will not be a break in between. We're just waiting for the lobby to get created, so in case you guys are wondering what's happening. Also, now going to address this issue of lag that I see on this Twitch chat. It's the same few people that has the lag. I think your ISP is not good enough, but in general, to have a seamless stream, you can do a few things. The first thing is you can keep refreshing, like what Luck said, because Twitch has got nodes all across the world, and the nodes, there are some that is good, there are some that is a little bit further. So if you don't have the the further node, you should have a better connection. But that's the one thing we could really do, is just keep refreshing until you don't have lag. The second thing you could do is also click the follow button, because once you click the follow button and we have substantial amount of followers, we can get you seamless multi-resolution options. So that's something that we're looking forward to, but we need the followers first before we can do that. So click the follow button, and that's going to help us help you as well. So that's it. That's basically it. Game 3 gonna be up real soon, so do sit tight, stay tuned. 1:1 Orange Esports, 1 point to MR, so 1 game each, and we're gonna be looking at a game 4, or maybe even a game 5 real soon, depending on who wins the next one. But that's it. This is Babael, joining me is Lark. We'll be back with more action, so stay tuned. See you guys soon.